welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. If you love the Bengals, make sure you subscribe. This is your #1 place for Bengals content. I will do my best to make sure that I'm always hitting you with constant Bengals talk and something from a narrative that comes from inside of the fan base and not the outside. So if you know anybody that likes this, be sure to put them on. And today is just my bonus episode. I'm going to do a bonus episode because we met our 200 like threshold. Thank you, all of Who Dey Nation. I love you guys. I appreciate the support. This episode, we're not going to do any kind of shout outs just because this will be a special episode based on likes. But I definitely will shout out you guys on the next episode. If you haven't, make sure that you subscribe here to be entered for a chance to win a brand new copy of 2019 Madden. It will not be the Antonio Brown version. There's no way that I run a Bengals channel and you're getting an Antonio Brown version. But anyways, for the special episode, I want to talk about some of the players trending up and some of the players trending down after the first preseason game. So let's start off with the players that are trending up. And I think that it starts with Andy Dalton. I mean, Andy Dalton has come into this offseason reportedly looking better than any offseason. And that includes 2015. He's been extremely sharp. That showed in the preseason game. So obviously he would be a part of the crew that's trending up. Next, I'd say John Ross. John Ross obviously has taken last year and put it in his rear view and has obviously become a more focused player. And obviously with the release of Brandon LaFell, the Bengals feel more than confident that he will get things together. And we saw that mental fortitude and that mental toughness when Ross slipped on a route that caused the interception and came back the very next series to make a crucial catch towards the red zone and almost scored later in the game with an almost touchdown after that. So I think he's definitely trending upward. Next, Tyler Boyd. This wide receiver room is extremely deep, extremely talented, and Boyd is just picking up where he left off from last season. Not just Boyd, but Auden Tate, Josh Malone, other receivers that were trending up. Josh Malone came in, and it just seemed like he wasn't a rookie anymore, and everything just came to him so naturally and fluidly. And the same can be said with Auden Tate. This guy immediately came in to catch a game-winning touchdown, and I've told you about these guys. I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but Auden Tate is going to be a steal, and he's going to be a factor going forward. Now, when we step out of the wide receiver room and look at the running backs, it's obvious that Joe Mixon is trending up. It looks like he's got a pretty good chemistry now coming into his second year. He's the lead back. They're stretching him out at receiver, utilizing his skill set with what I compare to Le'Veon Bell. And I think there's nothing but the sky as the limit for this guy going forward. We also will talk about the offensive line. Billy Price, no snap mistakes, which were the subject of practice, was him having issues with the snaps. We saw absolutely zero of that, as Price had stated in practice. Obviously, things are trending up for him. He had some great blocks. He definitely was a huge difference versus us having Russell Bodine in the past. Things are also trending up, I think, for Trey Hopkins. Although he wasn't amazing, he obviously was a big difference versus having a Cedric Ogbuehi or a Jake Fisher in there at right tackle. Also, Trey Hopkins, he also is trending up at the moment. He had a couple of plays that were bad, but he also had some where he actually saved Andy Dalton's life. So I think that's where the offensive line stands. Cordy Glenn was already good if you want to consider him trending up. Actually, we'll consider the entire left tackle position trending up because it was noticeably different from how it was a year before. Going back to the quarterback position, I think Jeff Driscoll is definitely trending up. He flashed what we saw last year in preseason, but what I liked about Jeff Driscoll this year is that he's shown that he's improved as a passer, and I think that that was very important. So Jeff Driscoll, I'm going to give a trend up. Now, let's talk about trending up players on the defense. I think when you look at a guy like Sam Hubbard, he's obviously trending up. The guy was in the backfield constantly last night, was playing at the 3 technique as well as on the outside. I think he's going to be a great addition. Carl Lawson was already a great player. I'm not going to say that he's trending up because he was already good, but he could end up going from a guy that had 8.5 sacks last year to, or 9.5. I'm not sure which one. Maybe you guys can correct me in the comments. But I think that he can be a double-digit sack guy. Geno Atkins is Geno Atkins, so I can't say that he's moving anywhere. But I will say that it seems like this defense is trending up as a whole. You guys know me. You know that I'm not really big on Vigil, but I give credit where credit is due. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I liked what I saw from Nick Vigil last night. Those instincts, the speed, I think that he is definitely trending upward. There was worry that the Bengals didn't have anyone behind Kivari Russell, or behind, not even behind Kivari Russell, but behind their first 3 cornerbacks. Kivari Russell emerged, and I believe that he's trending up after having his interception last night. I think it's obvious that things have changed for him in the game. Now, in terms of trending down, let's address the players that are trending down. I think this list has to start off with Cedric Ogbuehi and Jake Fisher. I can remember points last night where I just literally wanted to say the Bengals need to trade these guys. That's how bad they looked against second and third team competition. It just doesn't make sense. Cody Core, where was he last night? I didn't see much from him. It doesn't seem like he's a guy that could be a lock for this roster. When you look at the defensive side of things, guys that are trending down, and I don't think that this guy did anything wrong last night, but he didn't do enough to separate himself, and that's Michael Johnson. I don't think that Michael Johnson is going to get cut, but I think that the lack of him generating a huge pass rush will cause them to kind of look at things and look at the financials and say, what can Sam Hubbard do for us? If he can replace the production of what Michael Johnson is doing, the Bengals may opt to cut him. I think another person that is trending down, and not necessarily because he played bad, but because he didn't do enough to recapture some sort of spark for the starting position, was Chris Baker. I really didn't notice much of him last night. He was a guy that was there, but he seemed like he was, as Paul Danner would say, just a guy. And he didn't seem like a guy that really stood out. Josh Shaw didn't do enough last night to really secure a spot on this team. And I think other guys like Hardy Nickerson and other guys who didn't make really that impact, such as that Cody Core kind of concept, are guys that could be trending down. Matt Barkley was just absolutely garbage. He's right in there with Cedric Ogbuehi and Jake Fisher in terms of trending down. But I just wanted to jump on here, and I don't want to get on a rant or anything with you guys, but I'm just super excited. So be sure to leave your comments, be sure to like this video, and just know I have not forgotten our shout out. This is a special video based on you guys, and if these keep going, you will continue to see these. Based on what you guys do will be how I will respond. But as usual, I'll leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.